Yeah, because of Natasha Akpoti.
destroyed a road,
Yes.
a, a government road. The road people will have people like you, people who can stand to stand up to these people and talk to them in their faces. Tell them things that we everybody wants to tell them because these are the things that we want to tell them. These are the things they ought to know. You know? So thank you so much for what you're doing. Keep doing it. We are happy. We are following you. We are doing everything. We will do everything to support you. Thank you so much. Thank
Glory,
you.
glory, glory be to God. Bless you so much. Hello, how are you? Hello.
Hello, hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Great to have you. Bless you. What's your name? Where are you calling from, sir?
My name is John. I'm calling from the United Arab Emirates.
Okay, UAE. Bless you, John. Talk to me, my brother.
Perfect. Yeah, Rufai, I'm glad what you're doing, and I hope Nigerians are listening to you. It's really sad how we've let it deteriorate in our country, and I believe, I believe, we expect leaders to do better. I don't see the zeal and the interest. It's about time we start talking Sean tribalism, religious bigotry, and stay united as one front and fight the only Nigeria, which
Yeah,
is the corrupt political.
yeah. Thank you so much for
Uh,
that.
uh, uh,
Thank you so much
it,
for that.
it's really- it's really sad how things have gotten to, but I still believe I'm still one of the people who believe there is hope if we sit down to ourselves. We
And
are the problem.
yes, we are.
Problem is we because they at the slightest instance they divide us along ethnic and tribal fault lines.
It's also
And
because
once they do that,
it's also because we choose to be stupid. Because you see,
that's what I'm saying.
let me tell you the problem. The thing is, all the leadership class all over Africa that are impoverishing their people are one. When it comes to them, when they want to share the little commonwealth that they've been able to tap, not knowing that they can even tap more if they open up the economy, they become one class. They don't care about religion or race. They are united in crime. But they sell that religion and race to us because we've not elevated our mindsets. So we get caught in their quandary. And they play us like smooth criminals. You remember the Michael Jackson song? You've been shot by a smooth criminal. So that's what they do.
Yeah,
But except we
yeah.
start to understand that they are all united, they all behave the same way. I mean, look at Idi Amin Dada was not from Central African Republic, but his behavior was like that of Bukasa. All right.
Yeah.
So once we
The same thing
know
with that of
it was not from the, but it was not from Congo, but his behavior was not like Mobutu. So
Mobutu. Yeah,
once we start to know that it is just one ruling class all over Africa, and they attempt to grab power, impoverish the people, and grow themselves and their family, and not open up the economy, then the day we know that, then our life starts to change. Yeah, we start to do things better.
and another thing I think it use against us is we become properly educated. Like I am one person who is that the only way democracy can work is of the population
Yes.
properly educated.
Yeah, we need
This
to
is
get
why
education. We need to get education, and that's what I'm doing a lot.
this
That's why
this is
I want to build more libraries. Those are the things I want to do. I want to
yeah.
build libraries in schools and empower the generation. Those are the things I want to do. Because they deliberately
Rufai,
keep it
Rufai,
away
if
from
you want
us.
to do that, set up a GoFund account for it. We Nigerians are ready to put our money where our mouth is.
All right.
Please, we need to do that. We love what we're doing. Let's
Th-
for what
Thank you so much. Bless you, my brother. Really appreciate you. Let's take about a call more. Oh, we got a lot of missed calls. Let's take about a call more, and I'll get to call Neemat right about now, and put her on the line so that she can, join up this conversation. I apologize, Instagram, because I just only have two phones and I have to do like 1,001 things at the same time. So I'll cut off on this line. Then let me call up Nimat and see how we can, connect on all the lines put together. So sorry, Instagram people. Apologies again as I cut you off. Then let me get out to Nimat right about now and talk to her real quickly. And so Nimat's gonna do the intro, but she's UNICEF chief for nutrition. Hi Nimat, how are you? Good morning. Hello Nimat.
Hear me?
Hi Nimat, this is Rufai. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good, good, good. Can you talk right about now? Because can we go on the air right about now? We will go on the air now.
So. Hi, Nimat. How are you? Good
Okay,
morning.
so can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, Nimat.
Okay, good. So let's go straight to it. I just wanted you to
Hi, Nimat.
talk
This
me
is Rufai. How are
through,
you?
some of
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
some.
Good, good, good.
Okay,
Can you talk right about now? Because
so sorry. There's a lot of playback in my ears at the same time, but
can we go on the air right about now? We will go on the air now.
please, there's a playback somewhere. Can you cut off the playback?
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, Nimat.
Okay,
Okay, good.
something's
So
obviously
let's go straight
distracted
to it. I
me.
just wanted you to
Okay, good. Nimet, I just want you to talk to me
some of
about the challenges faced by
good, good,
UNICEF
good.
as ensuring
Can you
proper nutrition
Okay,
in
so you talk
Nigeria.
about that. So sorry, there's a lot of playback in my ears at the same time.
Thank you, Rufai.
We're very
So good morning, everyone. Good morning, Rufai.
Morning, yeah.
Please, there's a playback somewhere. Can you cut off the
So
playback?
let me start by saying that there are about 35 million children
Okay,
under 5
please,
years of
something
age
obviously
in
distracted me.
Nigeria. And approximately at any given point in time, we see that 25 to 27 million suffer from some form of malnutrition. This means they could be the stunted, which is short height for their age, wasted, which means their weight is low for their height, or they could be anemic, and which is called hidden malnutrition. So our children here in Nigeria are not growing well, and as a result, Nigeria is ranked number 1 on the continent of Africa and second in the world in terms of malnutrition for children under 5.
Wow. So you rank number one. Nigeria ranks number one as regards that, right?
Yes, it ranks number 1 in terms of children malnourished on the continent of Africa, and second only to India in the world globally.
Wow. Okay, so like we're talking about the challenges. So how can we bring these numbers down?
So there are a couple ways.
Hello, okay. Hello, Nimat. Okay, I think I should just do a straight call to Nimat. I'll try to reconnect with her, and I'll just do a straight call to Nimat now. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hi, Rufai.
Yes, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you well.
Go ahead. Yep. Just go ahead, please. So, how can we bring down
Okay.
this number?
Yes, so as I was saying, the government of Nigeria has a fairly robust policy called the National Policy for Food and Nutrition, and it outlines many, many actions we can take. But if I just had to simplify it, I'd say there are 3 things that we really need to do. And the first is ensure that we have the right policies in place and the right amount of money. As my colleague says we need more investment in nutrition at all levels, at the federal level, at the state level, at the LGA level. And for whatever money we have and are investing, it has to be invested in the right interventions. So that's really number one. The second thing we have to do is ensure that our systems, which means the health system that provides healthcare, the food system that gets food to the doorstep, and the social protection system that enables poorer families to have access, all these work together to ensure that children and mothers receive the right services and the right diets, especially during the first 1,000 days of life. And the first 1,000 days means from conception to 2 years, and I'll come back to that concept of first 1,000 days in a bit. And the third thing we need to do really is ensure that we have, during COVID, everybody started hearing the word new normal.
Yes.
And so we need to create a new normal for nutrition, and particularly for women and children, because we're seeing that mothers and babies are not given the right food at the right time that they need to. So, for example, children in Nigeria should be eating on a daily basis at least 5 different types of food. These are not huge quantities, but if I just feed a child, even if I feed you, Rufai, if I feed you just Semovita swallow for like a month, would that help you? What would happen to you if I did that?
I'll be stunted.
You'll be stunted, but you will have all kinds of other illnesses too.
Yeah.
And so we need to make sure that just like when we take our food, we take some swallow, we take some soup, we take some protein, we take some fruit. Small children from the age of 6 months onwards need 5 different types of food, 4 different types of food actually, plus breast milk. So we say 5 different types of food in their diets every day. Now this means change, and that means social behavioral change in the household, in the community, at the workplace. So these are the 3 things that we really need to double down on: the policy and the investment in nutrition, making systems work to deliver services, and ensuring social behavior change at all levels.
So what should we do to improve on that funding? Because it's a big problem. Because obviously we're not meeting these outcomes, and that's why you still have a lot of malnourished kids.
Yes. So, as what we need to do is to work with our policy makers, political and civil leadership, to make sure that the issue of nutrition is highlighted. And remember that making sure that our children today grow well means this is an investment in the future labor force of the country. Akina Deshina who's from Nigeria and who's the head of the African Development Bank, calls the investment of nutrition as investment in grey matter infrastructure.
Yeah.
So, we're always ready to invest in cement and steel, right? Roads, buildings, hospitals. But we're not investing as much in our own grey matter infrastructure, and that is in our children and our future generations. So we really need to make sure that commitment is built, and that's why UNICEF works in partnership with the government to highlight the issue and to encourage the investment. 2, we need those in leadership to act and allocate budget every year. And not just allocate, but make sure that budget is released and then that budget is utilized. The vice president, the ex-vice president, was the chair of the National Council for Nutrition, and this was something that he was tracking very, very closely, and also to make sure that there was that kind of momentum built in terms of financing. And we did see increases in nutrition budgets. Small, not enough, but small over time. So I'm quite optimistic that this will continue.
Okay, Nima, let's talk about that first 1,000 days of life and the need for women to exclusively breastfeed, for the first 180 days, because we're quickly losing that culture and behavioral pattern, and it's affecting the grey matter of our future children.
Yes. So Rufai, let me start by asking you to imagine a young baby who's born, like a newborn child. What can that baby do?
Nothing for himself.
Nothing, right? It can cry, it can shake its hands and legs a little bit, and sleep,
Yes.
right? Now think of a child who's 2 years of age. What can that child do?
At least you can start to walk around, can babble on a couple of words and all of that.
Exactly. So 2-year-old child is what I call like a walking, talking, mean machine. They can talk, walk, eat, cry, socialize, do things. So the child this is the period from a child that can barely shake its arms and legs to a fully functional human being in that sense. It is the period of most rapid growth in our lives. We don't grow as quickly at any other point in our lives as we do during these first 1,000 days. And when I say first 1,000 days, I mean it's actually from conception, from the time a woman is pregnant to the time a child is 2 years.
Yeah.
And two things happen. One is physical growth. So like I said, you're growing from being quite helpless when you're born to being able to walk around, talk around, play, be naughty, be nice, all of that. The other thing that few people talk about is brain development. So when we are born, our brain is already 50% developed, and that is due to the nutrition. It boils down to a lot of the nutrition that the mother gets and what she passes on to the child when it's in her womb. And then by the time you're 2 years, the brain is pretty much 75% developed. And then again, I think it's by the time you're 5, it's pretty much 90% developed. And so as an adult, you're really only in terms of development, the physical development of the brain, all of this is happening in those early days. So studies are showing more and more that children, for example, who are breastfed and breastfed optimally, and I'll come to that in a minute, do better in school, they do better at work, they earn more wages through their lifetime. So investing in early nutrition, again, coming back, it's investing in human capital, it's gray matter. On breastfeeding, Rufai, one, I'd like to come back with context and start by saying I want to congratulate Nigerian mothers, actually, because over 90% of our mothers in Nigeria breastfeed. So a huge shout out. It's not easy, but they breastfeed. What we need to support our mothers to do is breastfeed optimally. And what I mean by that is mothers need to be supported to start breastfeeding within the first hour of the child's birth. They need to be breastfeeding exclusively, which means only breast milk, nothing else, no water.
Only
no
breast
food,
milk.
nothing. Only breast milk for 180 days of the child's life. And then at 180 days, they need to start introducing the foods that I talked about, the complementary foods, which is, some protein, some carbs, some fruits, some vegetable, small portions, but every day to the child. And while they continue to breastfeed for at least up to 2 years. So mothers here are breastfeeding. It's just they're not supported to do it optimally. So I always say it's 1, 6, and 24. First hour, first 6 months exclusive, and then continue up to 24 months of age. So that's where we are.
Okay. You had a program recently in Anambra State, Nima. I mean, can you tell us about the program?
Yes. So I had the privilege a couple of weeks ago to go to Anambra. I was in the city of Oka and then out in an LGA to flag off Maternal Newborn Child Health Week. And MNCH Week is organized by the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency in partnership with all the state primary healthcare development agencies across the country. And it is a week during which we try to make sure that mothers and children get their nutrition as well as other health things that they need. So immunization is given, mothers can be checked up. And what I was there for was to ensure that young children from the age of 6 months to under 5 get their vitamin A supplementation, and mothers get their iron and folic acid supplementation. So this is what we were doing in Anambra State. It was very successful. There was commitment from the highest levels of the state. The deputy governor was there in person to represent the governor. We had the health commissioner, we had the head of the primary healthcare development agency, and we had traditional leaders. all there to make sure that mothers and babies receive the supplementation that they need. And it was amazing. Vitamin A is very, very important because it helps to make the child strong and boost immunity so the child doesn't get sick. And it's also very important because it helps to prevent children from dying. And we know that we have quite a high mortality rate in Nigeria relative to other countries. Iron and folic acid is super important for pregnant women. For all of you out there who are listening, please, please get yourselves checked, get yourselves supplemented. Recent data, we're seeing data that's showing that over 60% of pregnant women are anemic, and during pregnancy, iron needs get increased. So getting iron supplementation is critical to ensure a healthy pregnancy and a healthy birth.
Okay.
So it was super exciting, I have to say, to be in Anambra and see all the mothers and all the babies.
Okay, so let's talk about mothers. What are the most important thing every Nigerian mother needs to know once she gets pregnant?
Okay. So I'll say that if possible, if mothers know that they would like to have a baby, or as women know and decide and are able to plan birth, they need to ensure first, Rufai, that they are pregnant, that they are healthy and well nourished before they get pregnant.
Okay.
Because you need to make sure the body is fully healthy, right? Because this body is going to carry another human being for the next 9 months.
Okay.
And many times you don't know that you're pregnant till a month or so has already passed. So ensuring that you are healthy, that means you are physically active, you are eating the right food necessary for your child's growth and for yourself. Mothers need to secure their health first. Once you get pregnant and you know you're pregnant, you must try and make sure that you have a minimum of at least 8 antenatal care checkups during the 9 months of pregnancy. That means at least 1 per month, if not more. Okay. And each antenatal care checkup, you must track your weight and see how weight is gained over time, because as the baby grows in the womb, the mother's weight needs to increase over time. And that means that the mother, if that weight is increasing, you know that the mother and baby are doing well. Mothers need to get checked for any kind of illnesses that they may have, that they may need treatment for. So again, just making sure that the mother's health is taken care of and secure. And then mothers need to, then 2 more things, mothers need to ensure that their nutrition is really right and they get supplements. So I would say being supplemented with iron and folic acid pills and or what we call multiple micronutrients. So it's even more than just iron and folic acid. These are, we hear it, we get it in pharmacies, pregnancy supplements, they're called. So you can take those, and you take 1 a day usually, or depending on how it's prescribed by the doctor. And that is critical. And eating well, taking short breaks in the day, because pregnancy, especially once you're 7, 8, 9 months old, it tires you out. So mothers need to rest a little bit, but continue to remain active. And last but not the least, mothers need to be pampered, and it doesn't matter whether you're a rural woman, urban woman. Stress is extremely, extremely important to deal with. So we need to pamper our mothers and take care of them so that they are stress-free, if that's possible in this day and age. But really, they need that psychosocial support and care.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nima, for all of this. I really appreciate you for your time. And I'm sure a lot of mothers have heard this, and they will definitely imbibe most of those values and lessons, for them in their lives. Thank you so much for your time. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rufai, for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And definitely we'll be doing a lot more with UNICEF out here in Abuja. Thank you so much, Nimat. All right. That's about all, but that's not all. Guess what? I got a very powerful interview coming up. It's an interview I had with the co-founder of Old School. This was a man, his story started by living under the bridge, living on hard times in Lagos, But today, he's founded one of the biggest technology training schools on the African continent, and is providing opportunities for people when they learn about tech. Hear this powerful interview. Bless you. And that's all of me for you today in Abuja. I love you guys so much. From time to time, I'll also be here on VOP 96.1 in Abuja, Voice of the People. So to give great content like this to Abuja people. And thank you so much for your great time with me on the show today. Bless you. Bless you all. Bless you.
The introduction and all that.
And that's all of me for you today.
Right now, we realize like a country like Nigeria and a continent like Africa really need a lot of job. We need people to be skilled, to be able to make money and put food on their table. And that's why we are training people, and we make sure it's affordable and also it's online. Anybody from anywhere can take it once you have access to internet. Thank you.
Wale, I want you to dial back. You've been running old school for a while. You just had your graduation. How did that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I was super excited because now we have over 1,000 people from different parts of Africa graduating, and that means a lot. That means it means the future for Africa. We can actually achieve this. We can get young people to actually be part of this. The good thing also is a lot of them have started getting a job even before they graduated. Some of them even interned for some schools in the US. I know some of them they interned for some companies rather in the US, and they were earning like $7,000 even before they ended the program. I'm not saying everybody will earn that type of money, but at least people are getting their career started, they are getting jobs, and also they're not just getting job locally, they're getting job around Africa and around the world.
And I'm looking forward because I'm also planning sort of like a library. I'm looking forward to getting a lot of people from my village, Odobolo, and other parts of the world to be part of old school. If they want to go to the website, what's the website? Before we come back and talk about you as a person, what's the website?
So the website is www.altschoolafrica.com. Alt school is spelled ALT, then school SCHOOL. Africa is AFRICA.com. Alt School Africa, like alternative school, but Alt School Africa. So .com.
Well, let's talk about your story. Your story is very interesting. You're a man that slept under the bridge in Lagos, but today you are co-founder of one of Africa's biggest tech university to the world in the shape of Alt School. How did this story begin for you? You also co-founded one of Africa's biggest tech media company. You are a disruptor par excellence. How did all of this start from you? For a man that left because his parents could not help him get education, and you slept under the bridge in Lagos. Wale, you can never tell enough of your story. Can you tell that story to all of our listeners?
All right. So for me, is simple. I mean, is the Nigerian and African story, which is like a wheel. You understand, where you know where you're going, and we live in a world right now where people are being distracted. People think, oh, you have to do Yahoo and some of those things. And I said, no, you have to just have this strong will. I think my parents couldn't afford to send me to university, and eventually I realized I have to build one, and that was one of the reasons why I started building Alt School. Now Alt School is going the way it's going. It's going to be the largest school on the continent, even if not in the world. But one of the reasons why we started is just okay, for my own story, I just realized there is more to do, and there's more to myself than what I achieved. Then I heard about computer then, and someone introduced me to computer, like, hey, this will be the future. Then I started learning, and that's a good thing. Anybody can learn. With your mobile phone, with what you have, you can learn, and that's what we're building, and that's the future we actually tap into. And that was what changed my own story, what changed my own life. And today I live in different countries around the world, and I can travel to different countries around the world because of what I'm doing. And the good thing about this is you don't need to, because it's a genuine work, it's a good work. The other country like the US, the UK, when they are welcoming you, they welcome you as a premium person. They welcome you as a special person. And that's one of the things I realized. And that's what other things won't give you. But you just need to focus, because you need to realize that these things are achievable. As I said, I don't have a bachelor's degree, you understand? But I'm able to do all these things. So anybody can do it. And that's what the possibility we are creating with our school.
But Wale, your drive is bigger than that of any professor I've met in my life. And I must commend you for that. How did you, when you were sleeping under the bridge in Lagos, how did you envision that you'll be this big, that you will now be a co-founder of one of the biggest online universities out of Africa? How did you envision that has partnership with the likes of Stanford University?
Yeah.
That your picture and your company, All School, have been put on, I think, is it a NASDAQ startup list or something?
On the New York Stock Exchange.
It's been put on the New York Stock Exchange. You've gotten visibility there. I mean, but this was you that, well, because I know the story, this was you that about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, you were at a point a security man, a security guard in Lagos. Well, the world needs to hear that story. Because there are a lot of people that are disillusioned trying to copy other people. You are a mega star today, and you are not going to copy anybody that wants to be a good book of world record. Tell your story to the world, Wale.
So, for me, as I said, see, my story, the honest truth is, those times, I didn't see myself being where I am today. And that's the honest truth. But one thing I know is, it's possible. I didn't even know how big it is. I just wanted to do something for my life. I remember then, I never knew, I would ever even jump on a flight in my life. You understand? Because my story, I was coming from that type of place where there's no possibility. But I realized, in Africa, a lot of things haven't been created. We have a lot of opportunity. We just need to wake up. We just need to rise up to the occasion, and we need to try and do the best. And that's what I started doing. And the more I knock doors, I realized that, wait a minute, these doors are not open before because nobody was knocking them. And now that I'm knocking, they are open. We're working with some of the best schools in the UK. We're talking to some of the best schools in the US as well. And we're having conversation with them this is what we want to do with you for Africa. And that's what is possible. Because for Africa, anything is possible. I've been in places that haven't, I went through a month, I didn't have money to eat. I was just eating lunch. I was sharing my friend's food lunch all through. So I eat 0, 1, 0. But today, it's never about that any longer. And that's one of the things I want to help Africans to understand. It's possible. And that's why I'm so excited to see the life of people transforming through the impact through what I'm doing. And that's one of the things I want to try and do. I want to make as many people as possible to be part of this. I want to get people to be exceptional, because we look like this is the end of it. A lot of Africa, a lot of people in Nigeria, I see our heads down. But this is not the end, because there is no way we can create opportunity. And with the internet right now, that we have access to internet, we can tap into knowledge around the world. We can tap into knowledge how the market like US is built, the market like UK is built, and some of the world's strong economy, they are built. We can get some of these people that built them to even impact this knowledge on us, because everything is about knowledge. It's nothing else. And for us, one of the luck we have is we don't have natural disaster. There's no hurricane somewhere. There's no fire. There's nothing. It's just people disaster that we have. which is government leadership, but we shouldn't be, I won't go into that, but it's time for us to change. And that's one of the things I'm driving, because for me, it looks like these things are years ago, but they are not long time ago. They're just like a decade ago that was still trying to also stay earning 10,000 naira as a security guard and everything. And just look down now, a lot of things have changed, and they can change for everybody. And that's one of the things I want to do. And it's just knowledge. And the same knowledge you need to get is the same thing that your mobile phone. I started learning how to code on my own mobile phone, on Nokia then. All those Nokia, there weren't even internet as much as it is right now. Because right now everybody is on Facebook, on Twitter, you can talk to people on WhatsApp. The internet, the high leverage on, wasn't as big as this. So now we live in the knowledge economy. And that's one of the things we want to encourage everyone to do.
I mean, it's just so powerful because out of all of this, you've disrupted, you built a big media company, TechPoint, which you co-founded. I remember the early days. I remember a lot of great work we did with TechPoint. Now you've also built a company that's worth millions of US dollars that is doing quite well, impacting people. I'd like to ask, what are the programs on Old School that people can learn? What are the programs? What are the faculties like?
So right now we have three. Number one is like engineering, software engineering, which is like code, which we have front end, back end, and cloud. See, these things, don't let it be strange and stuff. Once you can read and write and you can dedicate your time, you can learn them. And we'll teach you from even beginning what is computer, which larger percentage of people knows. That's number one. The number two is products. What is product? People that design product, people that build products you use. You use WhatsApp, you use Facebook, you use Google, you use everything. People design it, and a lot of companies are still designing their products. So there's products. We have product management, product design, and product marketing. So we're going to teach from scratch, from zero. That's why we teach. Then number three is data, which is now everybody is using data. Data is what people are gathering. Data is not the data you buy online that I'm talking about. Data is now your phone number, your name, your address, all those things you put online that people ask you. Some people are gathering this, understanding where you are coming from. Are you coming from Ibadan? Are you coming from Ijesha? Okay, so those things are data, and we have data engineering, we have data analysis, and data science. So those are three schools we have for now. But very soon we are launching some other schools as well. But these are three tech schools, and anybody can learn it. If you're doing JAMB, maybe you've done JAMB, you are still there, you haven't got into school. Even if you're in school, you can still apply. And if you're working as well, you want to change your career, you want to change something, you can do it. I told you, I was a security guard. You know, anybody can do this. And that's one of the things I'm preaching today. Like, anybody and everybody can do some of these things. We can build the world. You can change your story. Some people's story has changed. We have one of the ladies that just graduated that is working in a company now. She has she's a mother of two. You understand? She's a mother of two. And now, she was a stay-at-home mom before. Now she's doing a job. She's excited. She's working in a company as a tech developer, and she learned from scratch. She didn't go to school for computer science, and that's one of the things we are trying to help everybody to do.
And you've graduated 1,000 people. How many more people have been able to join the scheme? Because have you started your recruitment for another session? And how long are the sessions?
Our application is out now. Our application is out. We have a lot of people taking application. Once you go to our site, which is www.altschoolafrica.com, once you go to the website, you are going to read everything about the application. You are going to get an application, and once you get the application, you are going to take assessment. We're going to give you something to read to take the assessment. From the beginning, you start seeing a lot of things you need to do. You start saying, oh, how do you even send an email? How do you send proper email? What is computer? What is this? So a lot of things you are using on your mobile phone, and it will be different to you. You will understand some of these things different. And also some of the good story I see with our students is the way their life has changed. Their lives didn't just change with the education alone. It's just like the purpose of their life has changed. They now have something to live for. You understand? And that's what a lot of people need. You just need direction. And that's the most important thing, one of the things we are giving.
Okay, so the purpose of their lives have changed. There's a great deal of direction. When you go to, the website, I want you to speak to somebody out there that is lost, Wale. Somebody that feels they cannot do it, that feels everything is all over for them. I've seen the turnaround happen in your life. I've seen how you build companies, you build people. Today, the companies you build are doing well even after you've gone. Left those companies to do other things. Tech Point is still on top, doing quite well in the tech media space and all of that. Tech Point events is still on top, doing well. Tech conference is still on top, doing well. You used to organize one of the biggest tech conferences, and you've moved on to other things in Nigeria. What would you tell somebody out there that is hopeless, that is listening to the show today?
For me, there's no reason to give up. And also, the one thing you need to know, that people need to know, is every one of us has 24 hours. The way you use your time there is what matters. Think of anybody today. This is not trying to be a motivation. Don't go to anybody. The same time is all we have. However, the way we use it is what matters. Let me give you an example. When I was in that place, when I was in a place of hopeless or stuff, when all of my friends are playing, when they are going around all those things, that was when I was busy. I was busy reading books. I was busy in acquiring knowledge. Because I know, like, everybody in this life, we have their own shots. But when the chance comes, are you prepared? And that's one of the things I always do. See, you will have your chance, you like it or not. But that time you have chance, are you prepared? Let me give an example. Like, one of the things that started my life journey was, I was looking for a security job. I wanted to get a security job, but they looked at me then in this Lekki here. They were like, I was too young. There's one company in Lekki here, Admiralty, that said, oh, you are too young, they can't get me. Even though I passed their assessment, but they said I'm too young, I can't. Then the HR looked at me, said I should come back the second day. Then he was looking at me like, you young boy, what are you looking at? Because I was very young then. He said, what are you looking for in security jobs? I'm like, well, I'm here hustling in Lagos, I don't have much and stuff. Like, oh. And I knew one day, while we were taking the assessment, there was one guy that came from, I think, OAU, that graduated from OAU there. And the HR was asking the woman, the guy, like, oh, do you know computer? And the guy said he doesn't know computer. Because I overheard that guy that day. The second day, when the HR was asking me, I said, well, I know something about computer. Because lucky for me, I've learned a bit about computer, about all this mainstream and stuff. I work at a small cyber cafe there. You understand? Then I told the woman I know cyber, a thing about computer, and that's what changed. I started changing my story. The woman said, oh, come back tomorrow. Then I started working with some white people in the office, and I started managing computer. We were the one that power all this, the job we work with Lagos State then, which is power all the tracking system. I was the one in control room that was able to complete, and that was when I was learning more. So when now that you feel like everything is gone, no, you still have the same 24 hours that Dangote, that Bill Gates, or anybody will have the same today. And some people will even have those time on the hospital bed that can't even do anything. But if you can do it, start leveraging on knowledge, because that will separate you in this world. And every time, that's what I invest my time to. I make sure I keep learning, and that has changed me, because when I enter different rooms, I have meetings with leaders around the world, and it's the same knowledge, and the same knowledge I had when I was doing security job. Forget security, when I was doing gateman, that same knowledge was the one I was now applying. I kept reading books. I used more than half of my income, more than half of my salary to buy books then. I was living in a Paco house. I was living in a place. It wasn't a real house. If it's rain, it flood everywhere, mosquito, everything. But outside of that, I was still buying books and reading, because I know one day I will have a chance. And the moment you start doing that, you start even looking different. You start thinking different from a lot of people around you. because I was living in and around the people where people will be smoking, people will be drinking, but I don't participate in that. People will be tasting girls. No, I don't participate in that because I know there is much more for me. And today, I'm so glad that where I am, and also I want many people to be transformed. And I know I won't give up until that happens. And today, because of what I'm now doing, I'm seeing a lot of people working for different companies and actually now making difference in their own life.
It's just amazing and powerful, your story, and we can only pray God continues to help you. And today, from being a security man, living in a Paco house where the rain beat you, drench you, and all of that, you own a multinational global company that with offices in Nigeria, Rwanda, America, most parts of the world, and you keep impacting a lot of people for good, and that's just amazing. Thank you so much for inspiring the world, Wale.